I'm doing. I was going to be here for the presentation, but on my way home from setting up for the polls, my brother, who is at my mother's house trying to help her with her insulin pump, called and said, we didn't get it fixed, and I got to go, so we did get it fixed.
Went to work at like 6:30 this morning.
We did
Time
get
to
it
go home and
fixed.
eat because I came here.
Took about an hour and a half, but,
They can dinner, but I didn't make.
oh, they would already been on, I mean, you're on hold with this thing for
Crackers?
45 minutes.
Oh, you might get. Yeah, fish and chips.
And of course, I've been
Pretty good.
doing this now for
Yeah, you are
quite a while.
seafood
And this
expert.
Michael
so
never,
I'm sure
this
it
was
very
Michael's
good.
first time over helping mom with her insulin
wanted
pump.
to try.
And as he says, he can't talk and she can't hear, so it's like
Likes it.
really
If
wonderful.
you were cooking, I'd eat it.
And she feels guilty because, you know, Michael works, he shouldn't have to be here. I'm not sure what she thinks I do, but,
My favorite.
you know, he works. It's a
I know I don't
job.
cook it properly, but that's
Okay, Mom.
You could
I know, isn't that a hoot?
then turn on the board.
Hey, lady.
He's the oldest.
I don't mind it being.
He's the youngest, he's the baby.
Baby's always been.
Well, that's why. That's why.
He's the baby and the only boy,
Fat in it.
That's
and he has a job.
yeah.
A lot of times
Oh, Lord,
leftover.
Oh, yeah.
next morning,
yeah.
a young-
And the baby always gets.
Scott said something to me, I'm like, God, I said,
That's what I'm saying, it's better
be up anyway
than
in
reheat it,
the
yeah.
afternoon to
Yeah,
get
we
here,
just stand
to
for
eat
refrigerator.
and eat here by 5. So at this point, yeah,
Didn't
oh
leave.
my God.
We'll just stand here
And then I'm leaving, and who drops in but my younger sister, who's no help for anything whatsoever. And,
Oh, yeah.
but she's like, she's
Hey, Barb, obviously, they're not reading the law either, though.
Oh, me, oh, my.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the Worcester City Council being held this Monday, November 6, 2023. We are in council chambers and live streamed on YouTube. It's after 7:30 p.m. The next meeting will be Monday, November 20th, 2023. Ms. Hamilton, as clerk, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Cavan.
Here.
Ms. Knappich.
Here.
Mr. Myers.
Here.
Mr. Reynolds.
Here.
Mr. Sanders.
Here.
Mr. Ansel. Ms. Warden.
Here.
And Mr. Ansel did advise he would not be in attendance this evening. Despite his absence, we do have a quorum, and at this time, I would ask you to join the City Council in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of October 16, 2023 meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Sanders to approve, second by Ms. Warden. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. And the minutes of October 16th are approved. Welcome, Mayor. Good to see you. We had quite the presentation on the comprehensive plan. I thought the folks did a wonderful job, or Aaron did a wonderful job, and the graphics were great, and I learned a lot.
Well, great. Thank you, President Beitendijk. Yeah, we've been very pleased with Aaron and OHM and the product that they bring to us each time we've used them. So good company there. Good evening, council members and members of the public. I hope you took the opportunity to join the OHM group this evening between 5 and 7 p.m. here at City Hall to review and make comments on our city's comprehensive plan update. If not, you have one more chance to review and weigh in on this very important document for our city. Tonight's session was recorded and will be posted on our city's website on November 9th, which is interactive. You will be able to make your thoughts and comments known on this site. This will be the final opportunity to weigh in on our 10-year comprehensive plan for Worcester. This plan will guide the mayor, council, and city staff in how we develop and spend dollars for our community over the next 10 years. So please help us by making your thoughts known. Council members, as of this afternoon, our clerk of council, Amy Hamilton, had not received any recommendations of people who you think would be good on a compensation commission as required by our city charter. Please make any recommendations you have to Amy by Wednesday, November 8th. That's this Wednesday. After that day, the administration will put together a group to recommend to council for your approval. This important citizen commission will review compensation of elected officials for our city, then recommend to city council and the mayor what compensation should be set for the mayor, president of council, and city council members. An important date you will want to note: a week from Friday, November 17th, is our annual Window Wonderland in Worcester's downtown. Our downtown will be decorated for the holidays with the window displays, Christmas wreath, the tree, horse-drawn wagon rides, live reindeers, and of course the jolly old self himself, jolly old Santa himself will arrive and visit with the children. This will be a fun kickoff to the holiday season for our community. And lastly, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you go to vote tomorrow. This is our privilege and duty as Americans to enjoy this right. So that ends my report for tonight, President
All
Biden.
right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have no petitions this evening, and no one signed up to speak. No committee reports or public hearings, so we'll roll right into the item of unfinished business, which is the third reading of ordinance number 2023-24, will be presented by Mr. Reynolds. Ms. Hamilton, would you please read the title?
Ordinance number 2023-24, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with 585 Partners LLC for community reinvestment area tax incentives.
Mr. Reynolds, the floor is yours.
If I may interrupt, Mr. President, I'm going to recuse myself from this legislation.
Okay.
Mr. Bidendike, I've been in contact with Mr. Starlin on behalf, who's one of the applicants on this request for CRA tax abatement, and he has requested that we table this for this meeting until we have a full house with Mr. Ansel being absent, and I will make that motion.
All right, motion to table ordinance number 2023-24. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Myers. Would you please call the roll on motion to table the ordinance?
Knappich,
No.
Myers,
Yes.
Cavan,
No.
Warden,
Yes.
Reynolds.
Yes.
So my meager public school math skills said 3-2 in favor of tabling it. So I would say that ordinance number 2023-24 will be tabled until possibly the next meeting. And we will note that Mr. Sanders is returning to join the rest of council. Okay, ordinance number 2023-25 will be presented by Mr. Reynolds. Ms. Hamilton, would you please read the title?
Ordinance number 2023-25, an ordinance amending Chapter 162, Management Benefits of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Worcester, Ohio, by adding the position of Assistant Information Systems Manager.
And this will be the second reading. Mr. Reynolds, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. The administration addressed this last meeting. This is a need to add a position of Assistant Information Systems Manager, as much as anything to reflect the increasing importance of technology in everything we do today. If there are questions here, I know the administration is available to address those, but I think we went over this in some detail at the last meeting. And I would like to move to put this on third and final reading.
All right. Motion by Mr. Reynolds to put ordinance number 2023-25 on third and final reading. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Ms. Knappich. Would you please call the roll on the motion to move this to final reading?
Mr. Myers,
Yes.
Mr. Sanders,
Yes.
Ms. Warden,
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds,
Yes.
Mr. Cavan,
Yes.
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
All right, the motion to put it on final reading passes. Mr. Reynolds, I look to you again.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 2023-25.
Motion to adopt by Mr. Reynolds. Is there a second?
Second?
Second, Ms. Knappich. Questions, discussions, comments? Seeing none, Ms. Hamilton, would you please call the roll on the motion to adopt?
Mr. Myers,
Yes.
Mr. Sanders,
Yes.
Ms. Warden,
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds,
Yes.
Mr. Cavan,
Yes.
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2023-25 passes. New business. First reading of resolution number 2023-62, It'll be presented by Mr. Sanders. It is budgeted, so should not require suspension of the rules, but it does require Ms. Hamilton to read the title.
Resolution number 2023-62, a resolution authorizing the Director of Administration to seek bids from network infrastructure vendors to upgrade present network routers and switches and allowing for immediate enactment.
Mr. Sanders, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. As in all computer systems, they're good until they're not. In this particular case, our network infrastructure is aging, and a significant portion of it's past its manufacturer's support life cycle, which means it's no longer supported, won't receive security updates, and this is an important backbone in terms of technology and the communications for all city departments, phones, computers, servers, wastewater, water, financial services, and GIS. So from that standpoint, like I say, it's one of those things that we think we kind of need it, so I would motion to adopt Resolution 2023-62.
Motion to adopt by Mr. Sanders. Excuse me, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Myers. Any comments or questions?
It'd be nice, the assistant information systems manager is gonna get on the ground floor, hopefully, with the new system, so they don't have to relearn.
Anything further? Ms. Hamilton, would you please call the roll on the motion to adopt?
Mr. Sanders.
Yes.
Ms. Warden. Mr. Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. Cavan.
Yes.
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Resolution number 2023-62 passes. First reading of resolution number 2023-63. It'll be presented by Ms. Warden. It is slated for 3 readings. Ms. Hamilton, would you, or 3 readings, I'm sorry. I have a B for budgeted, I can't even read. It's budgeted, so will not need 3 readings, but it does, again, need Ms. Hamilton to read the title.
Resolution number 2023-63, a resolution authorizing the Director of Administration to enter into a contract with Esri, Inc. of Gahanna, Ohio, for a 3-year subscription for providing the platform and services, the city's Geographic Information System, GIS, and allowing for immediate enactment.
Ms. Warden, the floor is yours, ma'am.
Thank you. So this is a request for the city to enter into a 3-year annual subscription agreement with Esri to provide the platform and services that the city's GIS system uses. And the GIS system is primarily used by our city staff, including contractors, developments, and some of our residents as well. The operating costs will not be, as this is budgeted, the operating costs won't be affected going forward, but this will come out of our capital funds, $17,000 per year. As President Buitendijk stated, though, this is a budgeted item, and so I would like to make a motion to move to approve. Sorry.
All right, motion to adopt by Ms. Warden. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Knappich. Any further discussions or questions? Ms. Hamilton, would you please call the roll on the motion to adopt?
Ms. Warden.
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. Cavan.
Yes.
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Sanders.
Yes.
Resolution number 2023-63 has been passed. First reading of resolution number 2023-64. This will be presented by Ms. Warden. This one I do have slated for 3 readings. Before I get back to Ms. Warden, Ms. Hamilton, would you please read the title?
Resolution number 2023-64, a resolution authorizing the Director of Administration to advertise according to law and enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder for pavement repairs on certain city streets and allowing for immediate enactment.
Ms. Warden, the floor is yours.
Thank you. This is always a positive type of expenditure, as, you know, everybody wants their streets to be in the best condition as possible. So this request is just to advertise for bids to get a contract for the lowest and best bidder to resurface Palmer Street, just north of Bowman, up to Wayne Avenue, and then Oak Hill, south of Wayne Avenue, as well as concrete pavement replacements on West Liberty between West Bowman Street and Oak Hill Roads. A portion of this project is going to be funded by ODOT's Large Cities dollars, and the city will then be responsible for 43.7%, which is amounts to $396,441 out of the total $910,000 bill. So this is a very big expense, but it's also something that, I mean, it keeps our roadways safe and our cars in better running condition. So I see no reason to prolong this, so I would like to move this to, or I'm sorry, I would like to motion to suspend the rules.
All right, motion to suspend the rules by Ms. Warden. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cavan. Please call the roll, if you would, on the motion to suspend the rules.
Ms. Warden?
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Cavan?
Yes.
Ms. Knappich?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Sanders?
Yes.
The rules are suspended. Ms. Warden, do you have a motion for us?
I do. I move to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Ms. Warden. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Sanders. Any further comments, questions? Mr. Cavan?
With the ODOT Large Cities capital improvement added, it looks like a really, really good deal. So it's nice that we're only paying 43%.
It's nice when we get our tax dollars back from Columbus. Saying nothing further, do please call the roll on the motion to adopt.
Ms. Warden?
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Cavan?
Yes.
Ms. Knappich?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Sanders?
Yes.
Resolution number 2023-64 passes. We'll have a first reading of resolution number 2023-65. It'll be presented by Ms. Warden. That one is budgeted also. Before I get back to you, Ms. Warden, Ms. Hamilton, would you please read the title?
Resolution number 2023-65, a resolution authorizing the Director of Administration to advertise for bids and enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder for the replacement of a storm sewer on Winkler Drive, allowing for immediate enactment.
Ms. Warden, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Yes, so as Ms. Hamilton said, we are looking to replace a storm sewer on Winkler Drive. This is a budgeted item, and the total cost is estimated at about $70,000. We are seeking bids from the lowest and best bidder to replace an existing 36-inch corrugated metal storm sewer that conveys the water from Winkler Drive and Torrey Circle's intersection to its natural drainage channel. Currently, the sewer is in bad condition, and apparently there have also been some sinkholes in the area due to the decay of this equipment or this material. And so I think for the safety and well-being of everybody, this is a really good move for us to make this change up there. I would be remiss to not say that Mr. Rice is here tonight, so if anybody would like to ask him a question, once I make my motion, please do so, but otherwise, we're going to make a motion to approve.
All right, motion to adopt by Ms. Warden. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cavan. Any questions of Mr. Fitz or comments, Ms. Knappich?
Yeah, I do have a question. If we're replacing the existing 36-inch corrugated metal storm sewer, what is the storm sewer going to be, the new one going to be made of?
Plastic.
With a longer lifespan? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, plastic doesn't rust.
That's a good thing. Thank you.
Can you tell us, Mr. Rice, when approximately you plan to carry out this? I mean, obviously, we have to put it out to bid, but do you have a timeline?
Put it out soon after, probably next spring.
Okay.
Because there is some paving repairs need to be done. So I have a completion date of like next May, June, with the contract. So hopefully we'll get a good bid that way. They can kind of work with your schedule.
Sure.
I do have another question.
Great, thank you.
About how long will the project last, do you think, so that we know basically how long the citizens will be inconvenienced?
There will be no inconvenience. It's off the road. It's
Good.
going through an easement to the drainage way. So Winkler shouldn't close it all during the project.
Excellent, that's what everybody loves to hear. Thank you very much.
And I misspoke, it was Mr. Rice that was here to answer questions, but next time it comes up that you wish to answer questions, I will give it to Mr. Fitch, just to even the playing field.
You'll be in the hot seat
Are you
for a
going to
while.
call him Mr. Rice?
Yes.
Okay.
Just to keep it even.
All right, seeing nothing further, would you please call the roll on the motion to adopt?
Ms. Knappich,
Yes.
Mr. Cavan,
Yes.
Mr. Myers,
Yes.
Mr. Sanders,
Yes.
Ms. Warden,
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds.
Yes.
All right, resolution number 2023-65 passes. First reading of resolution number 2023-66, they'll be presented by Mr. Cavan. It is a budgeted item. Ms. Cavan, or Ms. Hamilton, would you please read the title?
Resolution number 2023-66, a resolution authorizing the Director of Administration to enter into a technical services contract with Medi-Count of Cincinnati, Ohio, for billing services related to the city EMS service and allowing for immediate enactment.
Mr. Cavan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. This is a request from the Fire Department, Fire Division, to enter into a new contract for EMS billing. We have done this before, but it was in 2017, and we haven't revisited on the council floor because the threshold was not $50,000, although we have had an increase in rides in the ambulance, so that is expected to go over that, exceed that $50,000. So that's why it's brought before council. So we are asking to, the fire department is asking to renew this contract, and some of the terms, the gross billing fees are staying the same, which is 6%. But it's something that we've done before, and I do see Mr. Saley here if anyone has any questions. But the total cost of the contract is somewhere between $55,000 and $60,000. But again, we're recouping part of that back because they are a billing agency, and they, it's in their best interest to collect. So, if anyone has any questions, I think Mr. Saley could probably answer them better than me.
I actually do. We've had this service without going out for bid since 2017. I assume that you're pretty satisfied with the service since you don't want to go out for bids again on this. Have you done any research as to what other companies are, I mean, I don't know if there's anything else available, comparable out there.
Yeah, we have. So we, our previous EMS billing company was bought out by Medcom, who is our third-party EMS billing company. They've done a great job. We transitioned with them, and we entered into an auto review contract since 17. So the contractual language has just rolled over with a 6%. So our charges haven't increased since that time. Now, our revenue hasn't exceeded to the point where we've exceeded the $50,000 threshold to get council's approval. But last year and this year, we have exceeded that because calls have been increasing and transports have been increasing. So we're just coming to you to authorize us to exceed the $50,000 threshold for this particular vendor. We do plan to go out for an RFP in '24, and we've given them notice. Our
Is there any specific reason that you could pinpoint as to why the number of EMS runs has increased? Is it an increase in population, an increase in any type of call in particular?
Yeah, I can't pinpoint it. I mean, I could probably do an hour-long lecture on, causes of EMS increases, redundancy in the healthcare system, non-insured people utilizing EMS as their primary care physician, increased mental health, episodes and situations. The elderly population, we're having our population as they get older and older each year becomes a primary utilizer of our emergency medical service and transporting. The nursing home services have been having trouble getting non-emergency transports, for interfacilities, which then, if they can't get a transport and the timing gets delayed, it becomes an emergency, and then they utilize us. So it's just a variety of factors in which our services are getting utilized more significantly. Now, the double-edged sword is that when we do get used more, it also, since we bill for the service for the transport, we're gaining more revenue. And with the new revenue, obviously, is why we have to come for this contractual permission.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing nothing further, Ms. Hamilton, would you please call the roll on the motion to adopt? Oh, we didn't second. We didn't have a motion.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay. Usually we
second.
have discussion after,
2020.
usually we have discussion afterwards. My bad.
Sorry about that.
All right, motion to adopt by Mr. Cavan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Knappich. Is anything further in terms of discussion?
Sorry.
Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Mr. Cavan.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Sanders.
Yes.
Ms. Warden.
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds.
Yes.
Resolution number 2023-66 passes, and following right up with regards to ambulance services is resolution number 2023-67. It will be presented by Mr. Cavan. It is budgeted. Ms. Hamilton, would you please read the title?
Resolution number 2023-67, a resolution authorizing the expenditure of funds to remount and refurbish a 2013 ambulance onto a new chassis and allowing for immediate enactment.
Mr. Cavan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, a request from the fire department as well to remount, refurbish a 2013 Horton ambulance onto a new chassis. It's kind of a recycled sort of situation where by doing this, by changing out the box, if you will, we can save ourselves, is it $150,000, I believe? So with that, it's nice that we're able to do that. We've done it before, and Chief Saley is here to answer any questions if there is any on this request.
But before that, I'm not going to let it
I
get
won't.
caught. There you go. You have a motion for us.
I make a motion to adopt
All right.
Resolution 2023-67.
All right, motion to adopt by Mr. Cavan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Myers. Now we'll open it up for discussion.
Chief Saley, it says in our notes that this will allow us to basically have the use of the ambulance a year sooner than purchasing new. What's the time frame that it will take to remount this unit?
We're looking at approximately a year, maybe earlier,
So you're 2 years out for a new?
between 2 to 3 years, depending
Wow.
on the vendor. Yeah.
Okay.
And with the replacement of the medic was anticipated to be fiscal year '24 budget. And then through the budgeting process and the unsuccessful, monitors being replaced,
Thank you.
Chief Saleh might be getting ahead of our upcoming budget conversations, but with the lead times on ambulances as well as the other fire equipment we've run into in the past, we may wish to get in the queue. As calls for service continues to increase, and the availability of getting something on any kind of a reasonable notice is an issue, I will look forward to seeing an order at least placed in the budget, although it obviously will take some time to get it. So.
Okay, nothing further. Ms. Hamilton, would you please call the roll on the motion to adopt?
Mr. Cavan.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Sanders.
Yes.
Ms. Warden.
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Resolution number 2023-67 passes. We'll have the first read of ordinance number 2023-26. It'll be presented by Mr. Sanders. It is slated for 3 readings. Ms. Hamilton, would you please read the title? And a short one it is.
Ordinance number 2023-26, an ordinance amending the annual appropriation ordinance.
Mr. Sanders, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Dordia has requested additional funds for the health insurance premiums for the city employees due to the fact that the rates have gone up, and we've also had a few employees that have gone to more expensive programs due to life changes, and so consequently what was originally budgeted is now not enough. And so with that, I do have a question for Mr. Doherty. I'm assuming at this point there's really no rush on this from the standpoint that it's not gonna be anything until next year's budget anyhow.
Yeah, correct.
Very good. Okay. Well, with that, I would say we've had our first reading, Mr. President.
All right, we'll consider ordinance number 2023-26 as having its first reading. That brings us to ordinance number 2023-27, presented by Mr. Sanders. It too is slated for 3 readings. Ms. Hamilton, would you again read this important, albeit short, ordinance title?
Ordinance number 2023-27, an ordinance amending the annual appropriation ordinance.
And again, it's slated for 3 readings. Mr. Sanders, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a request to modify, actually to utilize some of our opiate fund money to provide specialty health lab, advanced lab panels for our first responders. And this would be blood work and items that normally would not be something that you would go to the doctor for and have in a blood panel. And so at that point, due to the fact that the opioid money has a very thin utilization, and this falls within that, within one of those thin slivers, administration feels that this is a good opportunity to provide this service. At this point, I will say I'm going to leave this on first reading tonight, but I do have an immediate question for the administration. So we do this year, what are we going to do next year? And what are we going to do the year after?
I can answer that, Mr. Sanders. So this was designed, this is only designed to be a one-time thing. This is based on some training that was done, health and wellness training for both police and fire. And it was explained to the folks that we would do this one time. And the goal of having this done once is then to be able to go to your family doctor, have a discussion, and for them to then be able
better utilize their existing panel system.
Kind of as the blueprint, right?
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
This is like a baseline reading kind of thing.
Yeah, so this is stuff that isn't, this is actually a panel that was developed specifically for first responders. One of the big things it measures is that they found in health and wellness for first responders is insulin resistance, which leads to stroke, dementia, Alzheimer's, heart attack. That's why you more frequently with police than fire, but 4 or 5 years after we retire, we die. Because we don't manage stress well, we work nights, we eat horrible. It's the life we live. So part of this with the health and wellness is if we can hedge some of this off ahead of time and make you aware and start to track it, you know, hopefully we're not needing money to increase insurance premiums.
There you go.
People are more mindful, we're doing those things. So that's what this is designed to do. And I spoke to a couple before the meeting. We had 84 people between police and fire who volunteered for this. I was kind of shocked.
Wow.
I would have guessed it would have been half that, and there's a little bit of a buzz about it. I mentioned to somebody else that a couple of guys I normally see at Donut Box every morning are like, hey, I'm going, trying keto, I'm not eating those. So it's at least starting some wheels turning and some folks on the right path, so.
I think it's a great idea. Good. Thank you.
So,
I'm good.
keep
Leave
going, keep
it-
on.
I'm leaving it on first reading.
Mr. Sanders, just, if I could, so this program, they'll probably do once, but if you remember, we will be getting opioid settlement for like the next 15 to 17 years. So there'll be other programs that'll probably come up as this money comes in every year that for us to spend it on, but.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to be voted on this evening, but would it be all right if I asked a question about
Yeah.
this? Okay. Chief Fisher, this just occurred to me, and when I was reading some of the, or maybe this was in the paperwork that you shared with me earlier, but some of the conditions that can be identified through this testing, I believe I saw one of them as sleep apnea. I think that's one of them. I know that there are some careers or some jobs that are hindered by that. Is that anything that would be problematic for our fire or police employees? Do you know? I mean, I'm just curious. I know, like, for example, a truck driver oftentimes can't get their CDL certification if they have sleep apnea.
Yeah, I don't know about fire, if sleep apnea had anything, Chief, do you know?
No, I mean, it's not a disqualifier.
Okay.
Employment, it isn't anything with our pension. I think it's a trickle-down effect that sleep apnea has as a catalyst for many other significant chronic medical conditions.
Right.
So if we're able to identify them early, mitigate the issue, it may minimize those chronic issues from actually occurring.
Okay.
So that's the whole goal is our basic physicals that we can get through our insurance company doesn't dive into the detail to really provide the first responders, a good avenue to develop those good health skills based on the stress of our, job. So this hopefully, like Mr. Meyer said, it would be a good, baseline so that we'll be able to identify and work with our primary care physicians and, at least internally, and I don't want to speak for Matt, but internally, we're working for physical education and health and wellness education and peer support. So this isn't a single, objective. We're looking from a holistic perspective on how we can maintain a healthy work staff, because if they're healthy, obviously that reduces overall costs, but good employees come, when they're healthy, both physically and psychologically and emotionally.
Sure. No, I think it's a great program now that I understand it. I just thought of that and I'm like, oh, wait, what if somebody loses their job because they have sleep apnea? That would be
If they lose their job, maybe their spouse, if they had their.
I mean, this could be a life ruiner here, but,
It's voluntary. And
Okay.
one of the aspects is that, we do a pretty in-depth physical.
Sure.
Within the fire department already that's been, funded and supported by the administration and council for many, many years.
Right.
But it is very specific in all of our policies and contracts that they're not, to be penalized for those things.
Okay.
They go directly to the employee, and the employee can discuss them with their primary care physician, so we technically don't know
Okay.
anything.
And these results on the specialty panel, included in the cost of the blood work is, and I can't remember, it's 30 or 45-minute session where the doctor will actually sit down and go over it with the officer or the firefighter, explain what it means, dive in depth so that they're better educated to know about their own health, and then to follow further down the road.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Sanders.
Ordinance number 2023-27 has had its first reading. Brings us to resolution number 2023-68. It'll be presented by Mr. Reynolds, who I understand is going to take all of Mr. Ansell's legislation this evening. This is slated for 3 readings. Ms. Hamilton, would you please read the title?
Resolution number 2023-68, a resolution authorizing the Director of Administration to advertise according to law and enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder for the purchase of certain materials for the water treatment plant and allowing for immediate enactment.
Mr. Reynolds, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, in Mr. Ansell's absence, I was asked to sponsor these next 5 pieces, and for all of them, I am going to do my best to wing it through it, but the important person in the room is Mr. Fritz, and if we get to a position where we've got any in-depth questions, all eyes should be turned upon him, and I appreciate him being here tonight for that reason. This first one is chemicals that are part of an annual purchase for the water plant. Total estimated cost is $648,000. This is for the purchase of carbon dioxide, lime, phosphates, and sodium hypochlorite. I think I did that. Sodium hypochlorite.
Well, if you don't mind,
That was
Mr. Rice, feel free to jump in at any time, if you would like.
So these are normal and customary purchases. The purchases would actually start to take place in 2024, but the administration would like to start the bidding process as soon as possible in order to get the best price we can. And with that in mind, I'm going to ask for the suspension of the rules on this.
All right, Mr. Reynolds has moved to suspend the rules. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Knappich. Would you please call the roll on the suspension of the rules?
Mr. Myers?
No.
Mr. Sanders?
Yes.
Ms. Warden?
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Knappich?
Yes.
Mr. Cavan?
Yes.
All right. Despite your nay, I think we have enough to
No,
overcome.
you don't.
They don't?
5.25 is 75% of 7, you only have 5.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
You got to have 6.
That's what I thought, but I saw some head bobbing over there.
First reading.
Next thing I know, they'll be doing the fumble-rooski, because they're trying to draw me offside.
7/5 of Americans have problems
Yes.
with fraction.
Yep. So, anyways, the rules won't be suspended. With that, do you have any further comments?
I do not.
Any further
First reading.
questions? All right. Resolution number 2023-68 will have had its first reading. That brings us to resolution number 2023-69, be presented by Mr. Reynolds, is slated for 3 readings. Ms. Hamilton, would you please read the title?
Resolution number 2023-69, a resolution authorizing the Director of Administration to enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder for pressed polymer for waste treatment and allowing for immediate enactment.
Mr. Reynolds, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. Pretty much everything I said with regard to the last resolution applies to this one, except now we're at the waste treatment plant. This time, we are talking about emulsion polymer that, again, I guess is purchased on an annual basis. The estimated total cost on this is $60,000. It's again, something that would be spent in 2024, but we'd like to get it out to bid as soon as possible to get the best price available. Mr. Fritz can walk us through the gory details of exactly what these chemicals do if you want to know that information. And again, I hate to throw him under the bus, but he's here to answer any questions you might have. For the same reasons as last time, I'd move to put this on third and final reading.
All right. Motion to move this to third and final reading by Mr. Reynolds. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Ms. Warden. Would you please call the roll on the motion to suspend the rules?
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Cavan.
Yes.
Ms. Warden.
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. Sanders.
Yes.
All right, the rules are suspended. Do you have another motion for us?
Yes, I'd move for the adoption of Resolution 2023-69.
All right, motion to adopt by Mr. Reynolds. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Ms. Knappich. Questions? Comments? I assume, maybe I don't remember correctly, but this helps squeeze the water out or so that we don't have as heavy a material to haul away?
It's used to thicken the sludge before it goes to digesters, yes.
I've learned a few things while I've been on council. Anything further?
Is there much volatility in that price? I know that, we're saying that we want to move this along so that, we can get the best price. Does it change? Does it fluctuate?
We're hoping not, but
Okay.
until you get it out to bid, you really don't know. We're hoping that it's only moving, normal inflation,
Mhm.
5-6%.
Okay.
That's what we budgeted for.
All right. Seeing nothing else, Ms. Hamilton, would you call the roll on the motion to adopt?
Ms. Knappich.
Yes.
Mr. Myers.
Yes.
Mr. Cavan.
Yes.
Ms. Warden.
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. Sanders.
Yes.
Resolution number 2023-69 passes. First reading of resolution number 2023-70, it will be presented by Mr. Reynolds, is scheduled for 3 readings. Ms. Hamilton, would you please read the title?
Resolution number 2023-70, a resolution authorizing the Director of Administration to enter into a contract to purchase replacement parts and improvements for the city's anaerobic digester system and biogas generator and allowing for immediate enactment.
Mr. Reynolds, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a project that has been long in the works. As the materials provided to council indicate, we had a presentation on this in June of 2022. I don't know that there were dollar signs attached to it at the time, but I think we all knew they were going to be big dollars, and this certainly is. The total estimated cost is $4.75 million, of which ARPA grant is going to cover $800,000. $1.5 million will come out of next year's capital funds budget, and $2.45 million will come out of the general operating bond revenue. This covers the aerobic digester system and biogas generator and our repairs. We need to get that up and running again. The project was presented to council again in June of 2022 and is part of the 10-year infrastructure strategic plan included in the 2023 budget. The majority of the facilities and equipment were installed with the 2012 digester upgrades and are now at the end of their useful life. Recent failures in some of the components have moved the needed replacements forward and necessitated a more comprehensive project. This was originally budgeted at $2.2 million in 2022, $2.3 million at 2023, including $800,000 in ARPA funds, and we're anticipating 30% of additional grant reimbursement, or a total of $1.5 million upon completion. Again, this is a lot of money to be spending on this, but this is one of the things that I think is unavoidable, and it's kind of the cost of doing business as a municipality. So again, for the same reasons I've said before, and being an eternal optimist, I'm going to move to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules by Mr. Reynolds. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Myers. If you would, Ms. Hamilton, please call the roll on the suspension of the rules.
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Mr. Sanders?
Yes.
Ms. Warden?
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Cavan?
Yes.
Ms. Knappich?
Based upon the large amount that we are looking to ask for here or to attribute to this project, I am going to vote no and put this on a second reading
Okay,
for more discussion and for the opportunity for the public to weigh in if they would like to, because that's an awful lot of money. And I know we've talked about it in the past, but I think keeping it on first tonight and letting it go forward the next time is probably, in my opinion, what I feel more comfortable doing.
all right, resolution number 2023-70 has had its first reading.
And Mr. President, if I could just, Mr. Fritz, are you going to be available at the next meeting? Okay. Since he was here tonight, if he was not, I was going to say, if you have questions now, this would be a great time to hit him, but if he's going to promise to be here next time, we're good then, too.
All right. The penultimate piece of legislation, resolution number 2023-71, will be presented by Mr. Reynolds. And it is slated for 3 readings. Ms. Hamilton, would you please read the title?
Resolution number 2023-71, a resolution authorizing the Director of Administration to enter into an agreement for the purchase of water meter replacements and allowing for immediate enactment.
Mr. Reynolds, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a request for authorization to purchase $110,000 worth of technology and also a waiver of the competitive bidding process for Badger water meters. This is a vendor that we have experience with and they've had a good track record with us. And this is just the type of equipment we use on an annual basis to replace water meters. And there's no urgency to this, so we'll leave this on first reading, although again, Mr. Fritz is here and available to answer questions if anyone has them.
All right, we'll consider resolution number 2023-71. Our final piece of legislation, resolution number 2023-72, will be presented by Mr. Reynolds. Slated for 3 readings, although we look like we'll be holding Mr. Fritz captive for the next meeting. That being said, would you please read the title there, Ms. Hamilton?
Resolution number 2023-72, a resolution authorizing the Director of Administration to enter into an agreement for the purchase of meter transmitting units and allowing for immediate enactment.
Mr. Reynolds, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. This again has to do with the water meters. This isn't the meters themselves, but a piece of equipment that's used as part of the automated reading system. Again, Mr. Fritz is here in a better position to talk about the details of what exactly this entails. But again, there's no urgency to this, and I'd like to leave this on first reading.
All right, resolution number 2023-72 has had its first reading. And I don't see anyone signed up for the miscellaneous public portion, so we'll roll right into council and start with Ms. Warden.
Thank you. I just want to remind everybody to vote tomorrow on Election Day, and yeah, that's all I have. Thank you.
And Mr. Reynolds.
Nothing to add?
Mr. Cavan?
Yes, I would implore people to please get out and vote tomorrow. That's it. Thank you.
Ms. Knappich?
I just wanted to just make one more inquiry of the city. What time will the the program that was recorded today be on the city website on the November the 9th?
I think it will be there first thing.
All day? It'll be available all day?
I managed to talk to Aaron, the representative with OHM, and I think he even said that he was going to upload it tomorrow.
Okay.
So it may be sooner than the 9th, but original recommendation was that it would be there by the 9th.
Okay, great, thank you. And I wanted to apologize for not being here sooner. I was on here for that presentation. I was on the committee for that, but I had a family emergency earlier this evening, so thank you for your consideration. That's all.
Mr. Myers?
Nothing further to add, thank you.
And Mr. Sanders will give you the last word.
I have nothing to add, Mr. President.
And do you have a motion?
I have motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Knappich, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you, Ms. Hamilton.